I'm certain that, and I've traveled all around the world, I've never met a single person who doesn't want to achieve, have, do, and be the best they can possibly be. And so I guess it's safe for me to assume exactly the same for yourself. In fact, I've traveled around the world and I've interviewed over 94 super achievers, people who've achieved astounding results. Yes, most of them exceptionally wealthy. But what I was trying to do was I was trying to find out the secret, or the recipe rather, that all of these super achievers have used to create that incredible wealth. And there were 5 major characteristics that came to the fore. Those 5 characteristics are vision, belief in yourself, a reason why, in other words, an unbelievable understanding of why you want to be successful, a commitment to ongoing lifelong learning, and finally, a set of success habits that are going to guide you to take all those daily actions you need to take without even thinking about it. Okay, so what I'm really wanting to share with you is that recipe, that secret that'll help you achieve the sales success that I know you can achieve. Because I want you to remember, if you want to get the most out of your sales career, you need to understand that change is a door that can only be opened from within. In other words, you need to make the decision. You need to decide you want to become the sales champion that I know you are. Only when you make that decision will things change. There's one person standing in your way. There's only one thing that's standing in your way, stopping you from becoming the sales superstar that I know you are. And that person stares back at you from the mirror every morning. That person is you. So let's explore that recipe a little bit. The first element, and I think this has got to be really clear, is super achievers, and you are one, all have a crystal clear vision. In other words, a picture of where they want their lives, their career, their sales to go in the future. And that's driven by their expectations, right? Because it's very unlikely that you're going to ever exceed your own expectations. So don't think small. It takes as much energy to have small goals as it takes to have huge goals. So don't be scared to dream big. But then when you dream big, you've got to project yourself into the future, and you've got to use your gift of imagination to build a vivid picture of exactly what you want. Bring it back to today, write it down, because that starts to program your Google search engine, your RAS, your reticular activating system, so that your mind, your brain is searching all the time, looking for resources, things that can support you. So clarify your vision. Become really clear. Create a story around your vision, and anything becomes possible for you. And then, like I said, the one thing that's standing in your way, the thing that's possibly holding you away from achieving the greatness that is just one step away, is belief. You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in yourself 100%. Because think about it. What is possible for us? Or should I rather say, what is impossible for us? Because we have that gift of imagination, right? We can project ourselves into the future and we can imagine anything. And the only difference between Donald Trump and other super achievers, Richard Branson, etc., and you, is that they believe that they can achieve anything. You don't yet believe that. So change the believing and you'll start to change the achieving. And this is crucial. You need to know why you want to be successful. Why do you want to achieve your sales targets? What's in it for you? What is your driving reason behind it? And let me give you an example, right? If I had to put a ladder down or a plank down in front of you and I challenged you for 1,000 Rand to walk across that plank, you'd do it. You'd take my money, right? But if I took that plank and I suspended it between those 2 buildings that you can see in front of you, would you walk across that plank now? Probably not.
But what if I challenged you that if one small thing changed, you'd walk across that plank not once, but twice? Imagine you're on the one building, your child's on the other building, and the other building's on fire. The flames are licking at your child's ankles. Wouldn't you run across that plank twice to fetch your child? Of course you would. What changed? All that changed was the reason why you needed to cross that plank. And that's why I say it's important. It's not just important, it's crucial that you look, you search, you discover your reason why you want to succeed. That's the thing, that's the driver that's going to help you to overcome obstacles, help you to keep going when you hit those setbacks, because you're going to encounter setbacks, you're going to encounter roadblocks, you're going to encounter challenges. Your reason why is that pivotal, empowering force which will keep you going despite the tough times. And then it's crucial. You can't achieve anything if you don't know how to achieve it. So you have to have an absolute, undying commitment to your ongoing learning. If you want to grow more, you need to become more. And the only way to become more is to constantly invest into getting new skills, getting new knowledge, and growing every single day. That is a crucial element. You have to be committed to your ongoing growth. Not occasionally, daily. It needs to be a daily commitment that you grow and you expand. And then finally, as Brian Tracy so aptly says, successful people are simply those with successful habits. Because remember, everything that you do is driven by habits. In fact, they say as high as 95% of our daily activities, or lack thereof, are driven by our habits. You know how you can unconsciously drive from one place to another familiar destination without even thinking about it? You need to develop a set of success habits that allows you to do the same for your success in selling. If you want to achieve great sales success, you need to have great daily sales habits that are going to help you to take all those actions, do all those things daily without even thinking about it.
This is vision. I mean, how can you achieve anything in life if you don't have a direction or you don't have a place that you're aiming to reach? The astounding thing is most people have no clue. If you ask them, what are you wanting to achieve in your life? Most of them go, well, I don't know. The difference with the super achievers was when you ask them and you say to them, what is your vision? They look up to the right. Without exception, every single one of them looks up to the right and they go, this incredible, powerful story pours out of them. Go and do this exercise. Go and ask somebody close to you and say to them, so what's your vision for the future? And they'll look down and they'll stammer and they'll stutter and they'll have no idea where they want to go. And guess what? That's exactly what they get. So what I'm saying to you is if you want to be a super achiever, and I know that you do, then the first thing that you need to do is you need to clarify what you want. So if you're working as a salesperson, for example, clarify exactly what you're wanting to achieve. Take your sales target and turn it into something that means something to you. It's no good. As long as you're trying to achieve the company's sales target, it's meaningless to you. So what I want you to do is I want you to go and I want you to convert your sales target into something that has meaning to you. What does your sales target mean? For example, if you achieve whatever the company's requirement is or the company's sales target is, what does that mean to you in terms of commission? What does it mean to you in terms of lifestyle? What does it mean to you in terms of what's going to change in your life? In other words, what's in it for you? Because as soon as you can understand what's in it for you, it's no longer somebody else's sales target. It's now something you can internalize. In other words, it's become your vision, something that you can describe. When you talk to those incredible achievers, you talk to them and when they describe it, you actually sit and you almost move to the front of your seat and you're sitting there and you're listening in awe to this vision that they have. And incredibly, they achieve that vision. So an exercise I'd like you to go to do is I'd like you to go and think about what you want in the future and turn it into a story. Turn it into a story that has meaning to you, that you can tell somebody else and they'll actually be inspired by your story. Because the more clarity you have in your story, the more detail you have in your story, the more likely it is that you're going to achieve it. So go away and create a story. Go away and create an absolutely clear vision in the future of exactly what you want. And amazingly, exactly that is going to happen. So that's the first element that you need if you want to become a super achiever, and I know that you do. The second element that stood out for me with all these super achievers was they had an unbelievable belief in themselves. In other words, when you said to them, do you think you can achieve that vision? They didn't hesitate for a second. Immediately they responded and they went, of course I can. And if I don't have the skills, I can either read a book, find a way to get the skills, or more importantly, I can find somebody who has those skills, somebody who has those abilities to come and actually do that for me. So in other words, the stuff that I struggle with, some other people play in that area. So the secret here, when we talk about belief, is believe in yourself, but also know your strengths. What are your areas of strength? Work on your strengths, improve your strengths as much as possible, grow and become. You attract success by the person you become. So believe that you can become the person that you need to be to attract that vision that you've created in the future, and most of the battle's already won. So firstly, you need vision. You need to have that picture in the future. Secondly, you need to have belief. You need to say, I believe I can get the skills that I need, and I believe that I have everything I need, and if I don't have it right now, I can get it to achieve that vision in the future. And then the third element, they all had an undying reason why they wanted to achieve that vision. And that belief was there, the knowing why was there, but it wasn't something selfish and personal. It was something bigger than themselves. It was about significance. It was about supporting other people. It was a big, hairy, audacious reason that would get them out of bed in the morning and help them to do that difficult stuff. Because success takes work. And if you don't have a really deep-rooted reason why you want to succeed, the first time you hit a challenge, you're going to stop. When you've got a deep-rooted reason why, nothing will stop you. Let me give you an example. If I had to take a plank about this wide and put it across the floor in front of you and say to you, I'd give you 1,000 rand if you'd walk across that plank. Every single one of you would jump up and take my 1,000 rand, right? Do you know the Petronas Towers? The highest building in the world? If you took those two, or that same plank, and you suspended it between those two buildings, and now I said to you for 1,000 rand, would you walk across the plank? Most of you would say no. But what if I said to you, I would bet you $1 million that you wouldn't walk across that plank once, you'd walk across it twice. And all that changed was the reason why. Let me give you an example. You're on the one building, your child's on the other building, the building's on fire. The flames are licking at your child's feet. Would you not run across that plank, grab your child and run back to the other building that's not on fire? Of course you would. The only thing that changed was your reason why. So if you've got a burning child on top of the building, in other words, you've got such an empowering, powerful reason why you want to achieve your vision, nothing is going to stop you. So invest some time. Know what you want, what is your vision in the future, believe you've got what it takes to achieve it, and then very, very important, because you're going to encounter obstacles along the way. Know why you want to achieve that vision in the future. And then the fourth element, and this is something really crucial. Like I said before, you attract success by the person you become. So they had an incredible desire to learn. On average, out of all these 94 super achievers that I interviewed, not one of them read less than 60 books a year. Yes, you heard me right. 60 books a year. How many books are you reading? Are you investing into your future? Are you investing into becoming more? What you need to concentrate on is you need to say, am I investing at least an hour a day into my personal development? Am I growing? Because you can only coast in one direction. I mean, knowledge is exploding all over the place. There's new knowledge every single day. Jobs that exist today, over 60% of them didn't exist in 2004. So in 2020, what is the situation going to look like? So the question you've got to be asking yourself is, if you're not growing, you're coasting, right? And as you know, you can only coast in one direction. So what is your commitment to your personal growth? Are you reading every day? And ask yourself this question. Do you push the snooze button in the morning? Because think about that. If you push the snooze button in the morning, what are you getting? 10 minutes of extra sleep, right? Or you could make a better choice. Put a book next to your bed, an educational, transformational book that's going to change your life. Read that book for those 10 minutes. Probably 5 pages, am I right, in that 10 minutes? 5 pages is not going to change your life. But if you read 5 pages every single day of your life for 365 days, that's 1,825 pages of books that are going to change your life. Average educational, transformational, inspirational book, 200 pages. 9 books a year. 10 minutes a day. Do you understand that it's not a lack of time, it's a lack of commitment. So your personal development is waiting. Your personal development can easily happen. How about driving around in your car? Average person spends about 500 hours a year in their car. All you got to do is set it up so that you can listen to educational, transformational CDs while you're driving around. 2 semesters at university every single year, listening to stuff that can change your life. Do you think 2 semesters at university, listening to stuff that's going to help you, listening to stuff that's going to uplift you, would make a difference in your life? So it's not a lack of time that you have. I say again, it's a lack of commitment. So make the commitment today, make the decision today that you want to change your life, because you've got habits. What I want you to do is I want you to develop good habits. I want you to develop habits that are going to support you, habits that are going to help you to actually grow and improve. And one of those best habits you could have is a commitment to your personal development. So when you wake up in the morning, don't push the snooze button. Instead of reading for 10 minutes, try and read for 30 minutes a day. Listen to CDs in your car. Grow, improve. When I was interviewing those super achievers who read no less than 60 books each, when I was interviewing them, they were interviewing me. They were trying to learn as much as they could from me. They were hungry for knowledge. How hungry are you for knowledge? Are you constantly searching and asking questions and saying, where can I gain more knowledge? Even from your daily experiences. Do you review your day at the end of the day? Do you say to yourself, what did I learn today? And where do you learn the most? From mistakes, from setbacks, from roadblocks. All those things that we generally hate, those are the things that teach us the most. So you need to file those things away at the end of the day. You need to say, what did I learn from those mistakes? Asking better quality questions. Because remember, the quality of your questions equals the quality of your life. So ask better quality questions, you have a better quality life. Everything improves when you start to ask better quality questions. And then finally, the 5th element that all these super achievers had in common was an unbelievable work ethic. And I know what you're saying, oh, clearly someone who's a super achiever's got a great work ethic. But when I'm talking about work ethic here, I'm referring to smart work, not hard work. They use their time efficiently and effectively. In other words, they only play to their strengths. They don't do stuff that they find tedious, and they don't do stuff that doesn't work for them. They focus on their strengths. They focus on utilizing their time as efficiently and effectively as possible. Imagine someone like Donald Trump. Do you think he's got more time in a day than you have? Richard Branson? They've got exactly the same, 86,400 seconds, right? Yet they managed to achieve so much more. Why is that? Simply because they have what I call a work ethic. They focus on priority tasks. They focus on doing the important stuff first. And then as their energy levels go, as their energy levels drop during the day, they do the least important stuff at the end of the day. And of course, their most important secret is that they've got a set of success habits. A set of habits that support them every day to take all the actions that they need to be taking consistently, day after day. Those success habits, those habits that allow them to take the right actions that support them to achieve all of their goals. That's what you need to do, is you need to have a look at how can I develop, what are the habits that I need to develop, what are the sales success habits that I need to develop. In other words, how many calls do I need to make a day? How many decision makers do I need to see a day? How many telephone calls do I need to make? How do I plan my route? What do I need to do to ensure that all the actions that I take become habitual, that I do all the things that I do without even thinking about it? Now, when you drive your car, do you even think about pressing the accelerator? Do you think about steering? Do you think about managing safety, watching red traffic lights, maintaining the correct speed limit? You don't even consider any of those things. But think back to when you started to learn to drive, all the conscious effort that was involved in pushing the clutch, pressing the accelerator just hard enough, concentrating on steering. So those conscious things that you had to learn to do became unconscious behaviors, or rather unconscious routines or habits. That's what you need to do, is you need to identify those specific activities that you need to do every single day that'll make you successful, that'll help you to achieve all your sales targets. And then you need to go about the business of turning them into daily success habits. And then achieving your sales targets can become really simple. Imagine someone like Donald Trump. Do you think he's got more time in a day than you have? Richard Branson? They've got exactly the same, 86,400 seconds, right? Yet they managed to achieve so much more. Why is that? Simply because they have what I call a work ethic. They focus on priority tasks. They focus on doing the important stuff first. And then as their energy levels go, as their energy levels drop during the day, they do the least important stuff at the end of the day. So let me explain to you what I mean. When you start off in the day, we live according to the circadian rhythms. In other words, we sleep when it's dark and we're awake when it's light, right? So when do you think you're the most energized in the day? First thing in the morning, right? So when you wake up, first thing in the morning, you're the most energized. So should you be opening your emails, doing all the tedious stuff, or should you be doing your top, most important, high priority activities first thing in the morning? Obviously, you want to do your high priority stuff first. I like the analogy. I'm sure you've all heard the story about the professor who took a jar and he filled it up with big stones, and he stood and he asked the class and he said to them, "Do you think the jar's full?" And they went, "Yes." Then he took a couple of smaller stones and he put them in between the gaps. And then after that, he put some sand in, and finally, a jug of water. I like to use that analogy to describe how you should structure your day. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to think about your goal-specific activities, your most important priorities are the big stones, right? So you put the big stones in first. Why? Because that's when you're the most energized. That's when you're the most likely to do do those tasks as efficiently as you possibly can. Secondly, you put in the smaller little stones. What are the smaller stones? The smaller stones are your important tasks, the stuff that you need to do to achieve your job, for example. Thirdly, this is what I like to call your to-do list. What do we spend most of our time doing? We jump onto that treadmill every day, or we jump onto that hamster wheel every day, and we open our emails. We then focus and we do our to-do list, because that's easy. That's the easy thing to do. And finally, the jug of water that goes in last, that for me are the priority tasks that aren't your priorities, they're someone else's priorities. So when am I working on someone else's priorities? Well, when I'm the least energized in the day, because they matter least to me and most to somebody else. So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about work ethic. I'm talking about doing things when you're the most energized that matter the most to you, and doing things when you're the least energized in the day that matter the most to other people. So that's what I mean by work ethic. So let's quickly review that. Vision. You need to clarify your vision. You need to know the direction that you're going to be going. Because imagine if you get to your driveway in the morning, do I turn left? Do I turn right? Do I go straight? Or, my favorite, do I go back to bed? So if you don't have a direction, what the heck are you wasting your time even getting up in the day? If you don't know where you're going, you're going to arrive somewhere 5 years from now. My question to you is, where? And then, of course, once you've got this vision, you need to believe that you can do it. Because if you don't believe you can do it, you wouldn't even bother. So you need to have an undying belief that you can do what you need to do to achieve it. That's what's going to get you up. That's what's going to light the fire in your belly every day and help you to take those difficult actions. Once you believe in yourself, you need to find the reason why you want to achieve that unbelievable vision in the future. Because that reason why is what's going to help you to keep going when times get tough. And they will. You know what? Life happens while you make other plans. So believe me, you are going to encounter challenges. You also need to have a commitment to your personal development, because you need to grow into the kind of person that you need to be to achieve your goals, to achieve your dreams. You attract success by the person you become. And finally, you need a work ethic. And like I said before, a work ethic relates to your ability to use your available time as efficiently and effectively as possible to achieve all your goal-specific activities every single day. Do you think if you took action every day that you could achieve anything in the future? I mean, no matter how big a tree is, if I chopped it 5 times every day, in other words, I took 5 actions every single day, eventually, no matter how big that tree is, eventually that tree is going to fall down. And the same is true about your goals. If you take action every single day, nothing can stop you. You can achieve any sales target that you actually want. Nothing can stop you.